The sad part about the opening of this game is that they drowned one of the horses. His name was Paco. His life was ended far too early. Avenge Paco and Vandal Hearts. Flames of Judgment. Sounds like a children's cartoon.
Perfect!
This is easily one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 3, available as a download from the PlayStation Network. It just so happens that turn-based strategy games are one of my favorite genres, and I like a good one. Vandal Hearts has been around for a while, since the mid to late 90s. It's a series from Konami, and it's not as well known as the Final Fantasy Tactics series, but very similar. My favorite turn-based tactical RPG-style strategy game is the Front Mission series, and this is the first Vandal Hearts game I've played. I really enjoy it. I enjoy this about as much as a good Front Mission game. The gameplay, at least, and I enjoy the design they put into this game as well. I think it's very, very well made. It doesn't center on giant robots with flamethrowers. Instead, you get kids with magic powers. But the challenge and the gameplay are fun. It's not boring. In fact, it's addictive. It keeps me coming back for more. These aren't games that you win in a day, unless you're like the grandmaster of turn-based strategy games, or programmed it and know the cheat codes, if there are any. Can I bring in my Vanzers and stomp on things? As far as turn-based tactical RPG strategy games go, this is very straightforward. These are always very difficult games to edit and to make for exciting video reviews, but I think you'll see what's going on in the gameplay here. The battlefields are laid out on a grid. You tell your characters where you want them to go, what you want them to do. They have weapons. You can choose between two different weapons when you're playing. I have most of my guys outfitted with a sword or axe and a bow and arrow. So it's very similar to the Front Mission games in that respect. You have ranged attacks, or you can just walk up to people and hit them. But then they have a chance of hitting you back. There's magic in the game, which is extremely important. You definitely want a couple characters who are very adept at using magic. Because when the enemy starts throwing bad guys at you who are powerful magicians, the game gets a lot harder. It starts off very easy, so for those who are not that familiar with this style of gameplay, it'll hold your hand for the first couple battles and then chew you to bits later on. It's a very addictive game, though. Once you start playing, if you like it, it's hard to stop. We're watching the PlayStation 3 version of this game. It is also available for Xbox 360 as a download. I don't think that these games get as much attention as they deserve, these turn-based tactical strategy games. They tend to get pigeonholed as like fantasy RPG games, and you know, that's really only part of the game. They're like giant strategy puzzle games. They're like chess, where you can light your enemies on fire and hear them scream in agony. Chess pieces don't do that unless you have a really cool chess set.
Amazing! Nice knowing you!
One of the things that I enjoy here in Vandal Hearts Flames of Judgment is that in several of the battles, you get about halfway through or near the end, and the game throws a curveball at you. I also like the geysers of blood that shoot out from people after you eliminate them. It's really rewarding. Just when you think you've won and you've exhausted all of your magic spells and health potions or whatever, it sends like 8 more bad guys out onto the field to attack you. So you have to rethink your strategy all over again. The art design on the cutscenes is a bit interesting. I'm not sure what I think of it. You don't play turn-based tactical RPG-style strategy games for the cutscenes. If you want amazing cutscenes, you play Metal Gear Solid 4. Or Yar's Revenge on the Atari 2600. But the Yar's Revenge cutscenes were basically in the form of a comic book, but it was a really good comic book. Vandal Hearts Flames of Judgment is a game I'll highly recommend to those of you who want a solid, fun, entertaining, addictive, well-made, turn-based, tactical, RPG-style strategy game. I'll recommend it for those of you who think the Final Fantasy Tactics series has gone straight downhill. And like I said, you won't win the game in a day. You'll have to practice a few battles, continue to build your characters. Let's watch as I get slaughtered here at the end of this level. I have to fight this one out with 3 people, or try to run. It doesn't work this time. I'll come back for more though, because I'm winning this game. Vandal Hearts. This one's for Paco. Paco's death won't be for nothing. It'll be for hours of enjoyment playing a video game. After I win this one and avenge Paco, I am going to have to pick up the earlier games in the series. In the meantime, Vandal Hearts Flames of Judgment.